Lisa.
Mr Chair, thank you for the call to speak on the Tariff Free Trade Agreement between New Zealand and the Republic of Korea Amendment Bill. As the House has heard, Mr Chair, Labor supports this legislation because it will substantially reduce the tariffs faced by New Zealand exporters to South Korea. Korea is our 5th largest export market, so it is an important trading partner for New Zealand. The bill may be short, Mr Chair, but its effects are wide and it sits upon some analysis, 85 pages in fact, of national interest analysis. Labor is pro-trade. We recognise that free trade is vital to the growth and success of a small economy such as ours, one that suffers under the so-called tyranny of distance. In a globalising marketplace, we must fight for every advantage we can for our exporters and for our country's future. Labor acknowledges, Mr Chair, the opportunities and that there are some risks that free trade agreements like this can bring, and we are very proud as a Labor Party of the free trade agreement that we've previously negotiated, for example, that with China. Korea is a significant trading partner for us, and we have been on the back foot as exporters to Korea. However, the agreement in this bill, Mr Chair, will substantially reduce the tariffs currently faced by our exporters to South Korea, and it will put New Zealand on a more level playing field when competing with sellers to South Korea from other countries who have been paying substantially lower tariffs than us because their earlier trade agreements has already reduced their tariffs. Mr Chair, my electorate at Manukau East in South Auckland is a city at the epicentre of a housing crisis of monumental proportions right now. Thousands of young New Zealanders, particularly, and low to middle income groups of all ages are increasingly tenants in our own country. Māori and Pacific people are the worst affected, but Kiwis of all ethnicities are indeed struggling to get into homes. Families are living in garages and cars because of escalating rents and descending into a spiral of poverty. Mr Chair, non-resident foreign buyers, especially in Auckland, are fuelling housing demand that is pushing up prices at levels most New Zealanders cannot afford. It is essential that the housing situation and the dangers of the bubble we are in is acknowledged, and that the heat is taken out of the Auckland housing market as effectively and as efficiently as possible. However, I have some concerns about the effect that this free trade agreement with the Republic of Korea might have on the ability of future New Zealand governments to establish controls on the purchase of New Zealand residential land by overseas buyers, on their ability to bring in a stamp duty on purchases of land by overseas buyers, for example. The government has not done well by New Zealanders over this part of the agreement. The government is potentially ruling out a way of dealing with the crisis. It has accepted terms that are out of step with free trade agreements in place between Korea and Australia, for instance. A side letter should be considered for the New Zealand FTA to clarify the effects of certain provisions of the free trade agreement with Korea. Mr Chair, in our minority report, Labor noted that significant groups making submissions on this bill expressed very real concerns about the loss of New Zealand's sovereignty, especially in relation to investment rules. There has been limited engagement with the wider public about the concerns raised in some of the submissions on this bill, which is quite disappointing. New Zealand must not trade away its sovereignty when signing up for free trade agreements, and the public needs confidence that these deals are indeed in our country's best interests. Thank you, Mr Chair.
Grant Robertson.